This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the crime thriller Seven. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
I don't even know where to begin with this one. And I feel like that's like my tagline for every time we start the show at this point. But like,
I think we've done a lot back-to-back episodes of being multiple storylines or multiple lots of stuff happening at once.
It's a lot. This movie's a lot. It's fucking great. It's crazy.
This movie is so iconic. So, like, I feel like if even if you haven't seen the movie, you know what's in the box.
Mm-hmm.
It has memes. It has everything good about it. And like Brad Pitt in this movie, I'm okay with him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually like Brad Pitt, but like,
fair enough.
And this one is pretty good.
It helps that it's an earlier work because this movie came out in 1999.
95.
95?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it was 90. Yep. Seven film, 1995.
Damn, I thought it was 99.
Nope. The year before we were born.
Well, and Morgan Freeman too. He's always been a great actor. But like,
does he always just play an old man? Because he's an old man in this one too.
Yeah, honestly.
Has he been an old man his entire acting career?
I think so. I mean, I'd have to look, but it seems like it. And I mean, it's not like, it's Morgan Freeman because that's literally the first scene. It literally, like, you start the movie and then it just opens up to Morgan Freeman in his bathroom, like washing his hands.
Yep, he's
like cleaning up, getting ready for work or whatever.
Yeah, he's getting ready for work. He's in an extremely well-kept, exactly organized to a T apartment. When he puts all his stuff in his pocket, it's like badge, pen, pocket knife, like exactly like 90-degree angle straight.
Laid out very nicely. And then we see him
go into a crime scene.
Yeah, he walks into this Brooklyn or Chicago looking like area. It's like dense city.
Lots of rain.
Yeah, like pouring rain. It's like, to me, it screams like, I've never been to Chicago, but you kind of think of like downtown or like,
very densely populated metropolis, high crime rate, lots of rain, rundown buildings.
Lots of noise. Like,
it's Gotham coded.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a very good way to describe it. But like, not in the novelty Gotham, like, oh yeah, like, oh, criminals. It's like, no, this place fucking sucks, dude. It's dreary as hell.
Your stereotypical like film noir detective movie where you don't want to be in this city. The cops don't want to be here. The cops are sick of crime.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's sick of crime. It's like just insane high amounts of crime in a city that is experiencing extreme poverty and nothing is well kept.
Yeah. So when we talk about them going into crime scenes and stuff, like this first one, it seems like it's an apartment building or like a multi-story house of some sorts.
Yeah, apartments, or what's the other word? Like townhome type deal.
Yeah.
Like it's you're exactly correct, with like multi-family living situation where everything is kind of stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. And here we find Morgan Freeman.
Detective Somerset.
His name is Somerset, Detective Somerset, and he's actually a lieutenant. He's a lieutenant.
Yes, Lieutenant William Somerset.
He's given the details of like this, was it murder-suicide that happened, like dude like killed his wife and then shot himself or something like that, right?
No, the first one they open in on is with the obese man.
No, because he's got to meet Brad Pitt.
You're correct.
Mills.
I am so sorry.
No, you're good. That's where they meet.
I have what I have written is the opening cop is an asshole. Doesn't care about the crime scene. Mills comes in, who is Brad Pitt, Detective Mills. They are exact opposite. Mills is extremely hot-headed, like boots to the ground. We're gonna fucking get this anger first. And Somerset is really level-headed, calm, methodical. Very good word to use for him. That's it. That's all I have written. Besides, Somerset is on his last 7 days before he retires.
Yep.
And Mills is taking over for him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get along.
Nope.
That for the first chunk, that is all I have written.
Yes. Yeah, they meet at this first crime scene, and essentially it's just them like establishing like, oh, like Mills tells Somerset like a bit about, like, he doesn't explain in detail, but he tells that, like, he's been through the fucking ringer, like, at his old job, and so, like, he's able to fucking hop into the city and, like, be a part of this, even though,
he worked homicide before this. He's not a green guy. Like, he knows what's going on.
He's not gonna turn coat and fucking run at the sight of something spooky, you know what I mean? Somerset's kind of like, yeah, you haven't fucking lived in this city, bro. Like that's Somerset's attitude the entire time is just like, bro, this place fucking sucks. And he is the lieutenant of this police force. So he's been on this fucking job for a while. Like he's been doing
over 20 years.
Yeah.
Like they mention it at some point because the captain like comes in and asks him about like, you've been doing this for X amount of time. Like you really want to give it up.
Yeah.
He's been here for a hot second. Like it's wild. And for him to just like, obviously he's looking at Mills like, you might have worked homicide.
But like
that's like, so again, someone going from like a normal city going to Gotham being like, I've worked homicide before, and then being like, bitch, you didn't do it here. Like you have no idea what you're getting into. And even because we're gonna focus on the case, like this movie focuses on their main case, but they talk about other things happening in the city. And one of the things they mention is a guy got his eyes fucking stabbed out on the street corner 2 hours ago at some point. And he's like, I don't want to be here for that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll point that out when we get there. Because again, I skimmed through it again, very briefly earlier today. This movie has like the same 4 colors for like the entire like first hour and a half of the movie, because it's like all dark. It's like
very muted,
dreary
tones.
Yeah, it's like gray and like rainy and like, I keep saying like, it's dark and
grays. Like it's just a dark city. Like literally Sin City was done in black and white and the only color you got was red. Very similar vibes. It's in color, I guess, but there's not a lot of color to show. It's all the same color palette of being dark colors with browns and, you know, the just dark colors.
There's
blacks.
Never a time where the characters are outside and it's not raining. Like it's literally always fucking raining.
Which is wild because this movie was filmed in LA. You know how much water they wasted? Why didn't you go to somewhere it actually fucking rains? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, I do remember reading about that, but it didn't fucking click in my head.
I'm mad at these assholes for filming this rainy movie in a damn desert.
Holy shit. Well, so anyways, we get after a brief exchange, we have Somerset and Mills. They go off and
before the opening scene, we get the way Somerset falls asleep to a damn metronome.
Well, yeah, because like you hear like people outside his apartment like yelling and screaming and threatening each other, and like, you know, there's dogs barking, and then you hear like cop sirens go off, and it's just so loud. And then I like the way they do it because he puts on the metronome at its slowest beat. It doesn't immediately drown it out. It takes like 15 seconds of just like a shot of Morgan Freeman laying in his bed, and then you like slowly everything starts to drain out, and you're like, oh, like this makes fucking sense, you know? Like I don't know, I just like
it makes sense. Like that's the wildest way. I don't think I could fall asleep to a metronome. I'd be like, what is that insane ticking noise? Like,
yeah, honestly.
Not be me. And then we get into the intro, which is wild because it takes a hot second. It's like...
It's quite an intro. Do you remember like, if you're old enough, you'll remember the old anti-piracy commercials that you'd see in like like before certain movies. Probably like action movies, like PG-13 movies, you know, like stuff like that back in the day.
You wouldn't download a car.
Yeah, it was like kind of flashy and a little dark. I swear to God, they got their font and like screen ideas from the movie 7, because that's how this whole intro, like with the music and everything, is going. Is it's like flashing the names of everyone.
Yeah, I described it as like a scrapbook. We're seeing like pages of someone writing, we're seeing photos, we're seeing like just pages and pages of stuff happening in just someone's hands doing this, and like flipping through paper clips and like doing all of that kind of stuff. Looking at
pictures of like crime scene stuff. And yeah, they use like, it's not dad rock, but it's like what kind of metal is it that they use in this? Because it's like the 90s grunge almost.
Yeah, I think that would be the best. It's like grunge rock of just very grungy. Yeah, that's the only term I can really come up with.
It makes me think of frosted tips and black shirts with flames on them. But
now I'm just picturing Guy Fieri.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, kind of.
He's just standing there. This is my diner.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
It's just very old school. It is like music of its times in a weird way, because I feel like this music wasn't mainstream in the early 90s. It was like you had to be part of the grunge scene.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
After the intro rolls, then you open on Detective Mills and his wife.
And it says Monday on the screen.
It says Monday. Detective Mills' wife is Gwyneth Paltrow. I forgot that it was her. And then I was like, my God, holy shit. That's when you used to be like dope as fuck.
This is before your weird ass candle.
Yeah.
And your entire goop life happened.
Yeah.
Because that was her, right? I'm not just.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I'm not defaming.
Thank God she finished the Iron Man movies before she really delved into that. But Jesus Christ. Anyways, so yeah, basically like he gets ready for work and then like he gets a call to, show up to the scene or whatever. Mills shows up with 2 cups of coffee and he tries to give one to Somerset.
Mm-hmm.
And Somerset's just like, I don't fucking want that. And so he literally, I don't know why, but like, because in my head, you're walking into a crime scene full of police. But he takes the second cup of coffee and just like leaves it on the fucking...
Does he?
Yeah. He's just like the one that Somerset didn't want. He just like puts it on the fucking railing and then just like walks away.
They're meeting like uniformed detectives.
I know, that's
like,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because then they walk up and this other police officer is there and he's like giving them the details. Like this guy's already dead. Like he's
face first in his spaghetti.
Yeah, like he's, and they're like, are you sure he's dead? Like,
yeah, Mills points it out. He's like, you didn't do vitals, and he's like, he's dead.
Well, the guy was like, he's been sitting in his own piss and shit and vomit for 3 hours now. So if he ain't dead, then like, I can't. Something to that.
No,
effect.
you're correct. I think that I thought he said like 3 days.
Maybe it was 3 days.
He said like a substantial time frame.
So he's like,
if he had the means to move, he fucking would have.
Yeah. Again, Mills ends up giving that cop his coffee. So I'm like, that you could have given that cup of coffee to a different cop, but you just, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so hung up on the coffee, but like, you just fucking left it there.
You're wasting good coffee.
Yeah, my point exactly. Yeah. Also, like, granted, it was 95, so would you spend like $2 on that cup of coffee? Maybe.
And it's probably black
could
coffee.
It could have been like 99 cents for like black coffee.
It's still coffee, man.
Still, man. I don't know.
And they go into the house. And just like the rest of this whole grungy, gross, disgusting, it really makes me like it's a sign of the times, because I also think of Invader Zim, how all of the backgrounds in Invader Zim just have like grease stains, and they're just like gross.
It's just gross.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
And so I feel like maybe it was just like a 90s thing to have like that kind of aesthetic. Anyways, it's like that.
It's funny you say that, because in the 90s, that's when we got those like gross books, and they did like the stuff for kids that they do like vomit and have all the weird, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like
the Scholastic books where you just
either that or it was like maybe it was just like stuff in general, but they had like, books about all that gross shit, and it was just like more normalized or something. I don't know. It definitely made its face. Yeah, because
you also just think about like the cartoons of the time. They were all really like grody.
Like when you think of
All Real Monsters is one that comes to mind.
Yeah, honestly,
it was a weird time for media, and I think that also translates into this kind of style of movie where they're like trying to portray something being grungy and like just icky.
Yeah, it's like, that's a good way to put it. It's like this room is dark and gross, and like
everything about it is unkept.
Yes, it's unkept. It's just stained.
It's again, that muted color palette we were talking about it, where it's just like, you want to talk about like millennial beige? Like this is like shut-in brown.
Yeah, honestly, shut-in brown is the best way to put it. Like
everything is a shade of brown.
Yeah, it's like when people put newspapers on windows, but then like those newspapers become dirty. It's like that type of brown.
Yes, and that is the walls, the floor, the ceiling.
It's fucking gross.
Everything is gross, and it's also just like decrepit.
Yeah.
Like it's not well kept in a clean way, and it's not well kept in like a maintenance way. Yeah. Like everything about it just looks lived in. And lived in hard.
Yeah. As they're walking through this place, they come up into the kitchen and they walk up on a blue, what I can only describe as, imagine what's the name of the girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that eats the gum?
You're turning Violet?
Violet. It's like Violet, but like dead and gross as fuck.
Yes.
And like face in a bowl of spaghetti. This
Bald.
man is like obese as fuck. And I say violet because he's blue. He's been dead for a while.
Yeah, he's
and
corpse blue.
Yeah.
Of just dead body blue. He's in like a wife beater.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're called? Like, that's the only name I know for him.
Yeah, that's the that's the only.
He's like in a really gross wife beater with boxers on and is face first in a bowl of spaghetti with a bunch of other dishes of food around him. He's not looking well.
There's a cabinet that they like walk by and flash their flashlight in, and it's stacked with cans of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Very neatly, I might add. Like the cans are stacked neatly versus the rest of like, I don't know. The rest of the house is just kind of like whatever.
So they go up to him. Somerset is like shining a flashlight. Mills is like trying to have a conversation with him, kind of like how you see in like cop shows where the cop is like, "Oh, I remember this one case I was on," and blah blah blah. And Somerset's like, "Can you stop talking? Like, I don't care." He shines the flashlight on the back of this guy's head, and you can see like bruising or something weird, like it's discolored even compared to the rest of his discolored body. There is something happening on the back of his head. Mills is like, he just ate himself to death, like he had a coronary, like this isn't a homicide. And then Somerset looks at his feet, and his feet are wired together, and so are his hands.
Yeah, they look down and his hands are tied together. He tells Mills to look in the bucket that's under a table that he sees, and Mills looks into the bucket and then like reels back in disgust and gets up, and he's like, "Yep, that's filled with vomit." Somerset's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like,
yeah,
okay, that
it was under a table. He didn't do that himself.
Yeah,
like this is obviously a homicide.
If I skip anything, let me know. But like, again, this movie, it's hard for my brain to keep track of every scene because there are also a lot of scenes that happen in quick succession.
So we picked this movie, sidebar, picked this movie because of us just covering weapons and doing the whole FBI...
Long legs.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
You're
Thank
good.
you.
Don't worry about it.
I just edited weapons because of us watching Long Legs, and Long Legs was inspired by this movie.
Yes.
And as soon as I watched Long Legs, because that was the first time I had watched it, I was like, oh my God, 7. And then we were both like, we have to watch 7.
Also, because I didn't even realize it. Like, we were going to do it despite whether it had the horror tag or not, but it actually does have the horror tag. It's crime horror.
Yes.
Which I was like,
fantastic.
Holy shit. There we go. Now I don't even have to make excuses. Like, it's just perfect.
Crime horror, perfect. And in my opinion, even if it didn't have the horror tag, this is so influential for other horror movies that I was like, we have to cover it.
But it's also terrifying. And we'll get one thing that happens later. Scared, like, I think about it now, like right now, and it gives me the chills because I'm like,
ooh,
holy shit.
Interesting. I'm excited to hear that.
They take the fat man to the coroner, obviously. The medical examiner, sorry. And, you know, Mills makes a couple jokes, like, how'd they even get him out the door and stuff? Because, again, this man, I don't think you understand, like, he's fucking huge.
He's severely obese.
Not comically either. The medical examiner goes over the fact that, like, he uses a lot of medical terms, but like he essentially says that like parts of his stomach linings were stretched. There was like bursting of some sort and things like that.
He ate till he burst.
He ate until he burst.
He ate for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
With a gun pointed on his head.
Yes, because they mentioned that he has this like ring of this like bruising ring on the side of his temple that aligns with the barrel of a gun. Yeah,
the bruising aligned with the gun, or like they were able to figure out like the gun was held. It was either at the back of his head and that's what all the bruising was, or it was on the temple. Either way, there was a gun held and this man did not do this willingly. Also, he was bound. Also, there was a bucket of vomit under a table that he could not have put there himself since he was bound. Homie was murdered.
Yeah.
By eating, which is such a wild way to kill someone.
Yeah.
Somerset is talking to the chief about it, and the chief is weird throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably also like a jaded guy as a chief of police. And Somerset explains, he's like, this is going to be the first of many, and I'm still retiring on Friday. Like, yes. I'm done.
So it's Somerset, Mills, and then the chief, and they're all like, they're in the chief's office, and Mills like insists that he just like wants to take the case. But then Somerset keeps insisting to the chief, like, no, like, you need to take Mills off this case.
This is too much for him.
This is too much for him. Like, just fucking take him off. And the chief doesn't even argue with it. But of course, Mills is like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm right here. Like, I've done my time. Like, I've seen my shit. You know, it's not like I can't handle my shit.
Again, he's insisting he's not a green detective, that he can handle all of this. And the chief believes Somerset, obviously his lieutenant, over some random new detective that just came in and takes Mills off the case. A new call comes in that Mills gets a new case.
Yes.
So he goes to a law firm and is having to cut through all of the press and everything. And you can hear on the TV that, like, this guy died and all this kind of stuff. And he comes up on some foot cops, some, like, uniformed police that are like, this new hotshot is in charge of us, and who the fuck even is he? And they're talking shit about Mills. Like, none of them are good with this random guy coming in and being on this case. Yeah. It turns out that Eli Gould has been murdered. Mm-hmm. He is the defense attorney, or is a defense attorney.
He's a defense attorney for, like, the criminally convicted or something within the city.
Yeah, he's a high-end defense attorney.
He's a highly sought after. Yeah. Like, so he makes the big bucks, but he does it by defending pieces of shit in court, essentially.
Exactly. And when they get into his office, there is greed written in blood on the floor.
Yep.
And then a framed photo of a woman that was on the desk. The photo is flipped around, so instead of facing the person who sits at the desk, it's facing the rest of the room, and there are circles drawn around her eyes.
In blood.
It's
not a nice scene.
No, is the scale there, or no?
Is there a scale?
So I'll have to cut. He ends up having to cut his flesh off and weigh it.
That's him. Right.
And I can't remember if the was in the scene. There was a forensic guy in here looking at stuff for a second, and so I don't know if he was just looking at what was on the floor or if he was looking at the scale. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, honestly, because, like, my eyes were drawn to other things in the room when it does that, like, wide shot.
Yeah.
So I honestly couldn't tell you.
This, compared to the last crime scene we saw, is very clean, very pristine.
Yeah, like, this is someone's office that's, like, well kept, and
it's a high-rise office. It's very clean and just unlike what we just saw. And Mills is, like, sitting in the desk sits at the desk of the crime scene.
Yeah.
And is, like, swiveling in the chair watching the news. And then when it cuts to the chief talking to Somerset again, telling us that Eli Gould is the one who just got murdered.
Yes, and he's like, the chief just insists to Somerset, he's like, I think you want to convince yourself that you want to retire, but, like, you're not actually going to retire.
You can't retire.
You can't.
There's
like,
so much stuff happening.
And, like, you know, he's just like, I don't believe it, man. Like, again, the chief is just kind of like an asshole.
He is an asshole. In my opinion, they have been together for so long. They probably, maybe they were, like, you know, uniforms before. Like, I feel like they have such a close relationship that they have just been each other's, like, what's the word? Not rock. They have been in each other's lives for so long of just being like, you're my constant.
Yeah.
Like, I know you'll always be here. I know you're going to solve the murders. You know I'm going to be here and I'm always going to be chief.
Yeah.
And so for, like, I feel like it's just rocking the chief's world more than he wants to let on. That his probably top lieutenant is retiring when he's like, you still have more to give to the force. You don't need to retire yet.
Yeah. Also, I will say, you need to watch this movie because us talking about it, like, we don't go over the dialogue or, like...
This is another one where we can't go out over the dialogue. Yeah.
Like, yeah, because if we went over everything that was said, we would have had to set up our own web to look at and, like, pick information from, because, again, it's a crime movie. Like,
it's meant to be read stringy.
Yeah, it's meant to be a mystery or whatever. So,
which I really love about this movie too.
But also, Morgan Freeman you could not find a better person to play a detective.
Yeah, especially like this type of detective.
Yes, one who is, like, quiet, but you know that his mind is fucking racing with a million possibilities, and, like, he's going through, like, you know, every single step, like, throughout every single bit. Yeah, dude. Oh God, it's so good.
Exactly. The chief gives Somerset evidence from the the original case that him and Mills had started with the guy in the spaghetti plate.
It's like a jar of stuff that was found inside the fat man's stomach.
Yeah, it was bits of plastic that were fed to him.
Yes.
Why? I don't know. That's all he's like, oh, I gotta go visit the crime scene again. Because what the hell is this? So
he takes the bits with him and he goes back to the scene where the fat man ate himself to death.
And he's looking around. He has his flashlight. Because this is one thing that like always gets me about crime scenes. Like, why don't they ever turn the lights on?
They try.
Does he try in this one?
There's a couple times where like you see them go for the lights, and then I think he even comments on it at one point. And he's just like, should have fucking known, like it's something like that. I can't remember,
okay.
but yes, they do try the lights, at least a couple times.
Yeah, and he's looking around, and he you're so right. He just plays such a good detective in this because you believe all of his actions are very detective, lieutenant-y, like cop man.
Every single, like, you don't even see where his eyes are looking, but you know wherever his eyes are looking, he's absorbing information that's helping him solve the case.
Exactly.
I don't know how, like, and for Morgan Freeman to portray that in a fucking movie, just like peak.
Amazing.
So good.
He ends up looking at the floor, and there are chunks of the linoleum scraped off, and he figures out that the fridge has been moved. So he moves the fridge again, and behind the fridge is glutton written in grease with a note on it.
Yes. Do you have what the note said?
No.
Like, hard that is the path that leads up into the light, or something long and hard, something like that.
Let me see. No, because the wiki doesn't go into it either.
The gist of it was like...
It's a note from Paradise Lost.
Oh.
So that's where it's taken from. It's a quote.
I see. Okay.
So that's another thing with this movie is once we're starting to get into it, which we'll get into it right now, is Somerset goes into a whole thing about this being the first of the 7 deadly sins murders.
Yes. So at this point, we're back in the police precinct, and Somerset and Mills, you know, they're kind of sitting around and they're talking about this. Somerset's like, oh, it makes sense. Like, these are murders based off of the seven deadly sins. Like,
we have gluttony and we have greed. This is like, he says that it's a note from Paradise Lost. Mm-hmm. He mentions something else and tells Mills, like, you can expect 5 more murders because I'm still retiring.
Yeah.
I'll help you until then, but...
Yeah, the chief is like, what the fuck? And Somerset eventually is just like, hey, man, Mills said he wanted it, just fucking give it to him.
But he ends up going to the library.
But so Somerset, like, you see the whole time, anytime he's by himself, like in his home or anything like that, you can tell that his mind is not there. Like, his mind is out in the world, like, on the case, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, he does not relax. His mind is reeling on this new mystery of a case.
He goes to this library, and like, you know, a bunch of these security guards are all playing poker upstairs, which is funny because I've never seen that many police officers in a library. But
so what I think it might be is like, the only thing I can figure out is like the Library of Congress probably has a lot of fucking security.
That
like,
makes a lot of sense.
I'm assuming it's a really big library. Not the Library of Congress, right? But like a very big, like, but that's the only thing I can compare it to, or like a big university library. Yeah. Like one of those things where it's so vast and so big that you need to have a lot of security because one person just can't cover the entire grounds.
But can I just say that, like, if you took away the people playing poker and you had that whole space just to yourself, that would definitely go in one of my top 3 all-time places to read. Just like sitting in that like quiet, like New York-ish library with
raining
all the lights. And the rain outside, and it's nighttime. And this was back in the 90s before we had all the fucking white lights. Mm-hmm. So it was like still
the
like,
warm tones.
The warm orange lights that everyone remembers, you know, like, and so
the security guard's credit though, they do blast some classical music.
Yes.
So they're kind of covering up whatever they're doing with some nice classical music they call him Smiley.
Yes.
And he goes around looking at books. He picks up the Canterbury Tales, the Divine Comedy, and another book that I forgot to screen grab what it was. Essentially, homie's picking up like Dante's Inferno, Dante's books, and those kinds of like
Yeah.
classic literature that are related to Seven Deadly Sins, are related to like, again, Dante, like that whole thing.
Yeah, or like even old religious practices that related to like how the seven deadly sins were used when it came to like teachings and stuff like
Yes.
that. So yeah, he's like really digging into all that stuff. Meanwhile, you have this happening with Somerset in the library, but then you see Detective Mills cracking down. Now that he's the head of the case, he's grabbing all the books. He's doing his research about all of it too, because he realizes like
He's in it now.
Yeah,
He's in
like,
it to win it, for
he's
lack
fucking
of a
in
better
it.
term.
And
But the juxtaposition of how they study the case, right? As you have Somerset in this picturesque library reading, and then you have Mills in his apartment blasting the basketball game,
Yeah.
drinking a beer, having his entire coffee table covered in evidence, just looking at shit like, all right, where's my clue? It's in here somewhere.
yeah, it's great. It's a really good montage because it's got some foreboding music, I guess is a way to put it. Just kind of like they're obviously doing research about something pretty sinister, because if you're bringing religious morals into murder, that becomes a whole different beast, in my opinion, because like you have religious psychosis, and then you have killers and murderers, and then you have
the ones that meet in the middle.
Yeah, the ones that have the power of God in them to help them carry out their tasks. Terrifying.
Yeah, when it comes to using religion as a means to harm others, always freaks me out, because the tenet of almost all of our like mainstream quote unquote religions is the same, of like, don't harm other people.
Yeah.
Treat others how you want to be treated, whatever, like however you want to say it, is generally the basis of a lot of religions.
Yeah.
And especially because we're diving into the Abrahamic religion of Catholicism / Christianity in this. I'm not really sure where we land. I don't think it really says, because it's just the seven deadly sins, which is in both. And the Divine Comedy, I believe, is Catholic. Is Dante Catholic?
Is he?
I don't know. I don't know too much about Dante's Inferno or that kind of stuff. I can't remember if it has more roots in Catholicism or Christianity. Either way, we're in that sphere of religion. And literally one of the 10 Commandments, is that what they're called? Don't murder people is one of them.
Well, yeah, and like, to me, there's that side, but then my brain is also, obviously this is not true, but my brain thinks about the flip side where like, well, what if we had a creator so devious that he literally did give these orders to people to just randomly fulfill out? That's equally as fucking terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
No matter what, we don't win. It just fucking sucks.
Yes. Hella agree. This, it's weird.
Yeah.
Religious shit, and then you mix it in with murder, it just makes it weirder.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Somerset makes a list of references and leaves it on Mills's desk of all of the books he thinks he needs to look into. So he does that there, and then we get to Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Mills tries to read Dante's Inferno and cannot fucking grasp it. He sent a cop to go get him Cliff Notes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he's sitting in his car, and a uniform officer comes up and slams on his window and just throws Cliff Notes at him for Dante's Inferno.
That's right.
And that kind of stuff. I think it's like 3 of them, so I'm assuming it's like the Divine Comedy, how do you say it? Canterbury Tales. And there's one more, and I don't remember which one that is.
I think it's just Purgatory is that's what they were referring to one of them as.
Yeah.
But
so he's getting Cliff Notes for a bunch of shit that he's never read before.
Yeah.
He then moves into Somerset's office.
Yes.
So Somerset is working at like this nice big desk, and Mills walks in with his box of stuff and is like, what the fuck is happening? And Somerset's like, oh, like, my bad, like, let me clear off my stuff. And he's like, no, I can just, he's like, no, it comes with the title, you get my office. And he like clears off and goes off to this like little tiny desk in the corner.
Yeah.
And
then they start working, and then Mills gets a call, he answers it, and it's his wife.
She wants to talk to Somerset.
Yeah. Mills is like, my wife wants to talk to you. And Somerset's like, what? Oh, okay. they talk briefly on the phone, and
He hangs up. He's like, okay, like whatever, hangs up, and Mills tries to grab the phone back, and he's like, hello? And she'd already hung up, and he's like,
it's like, okay.
He looks to Somerset, and Somerset just like goes back to his desk, and he's like, and what was that about? Like,
yeah,
you just, and he's like, oh, well, apparently I'm invited to dinner.
Yep.
It'd be a good time.
And then it cuts to Somerset arriving at Mills and his wife's apartment for dinner.
Yeah, Tracy is her name.
Tracy, yes.
So in the first scene we get of their apartment, they're in their bedroom, and it's stacked full of boxes. Like, it's obviously they just moved in. This time, place is decked out, completely decorated, no more boxes anywhere, looks like a home. And I'm like, bitch, you've been here for 2 days. Good on you. Like, he's been out working, and you made this house a goddamn home.
Yeah.
Like, kick ass.
Honestly.
Tracy is essentially playing peacekeeper, is what is happening. She is trying to get these two men to get their heads out of their asses and like be able to work together.
Yep. It's kind of cute. She's very just like, like, I don't know, just very smiley, and
she is a cop's wife.
Yes.
She's like, I need to meet your partner. Who the fuck has your back? Like, we need to make sure that he's okay, and he needs to like you, because if something happens, like, you know? And she is doing it so well. They are talking about something, and then the entire place starts shaking. It turns out they're right under the subway, or right next to the subway or something.
Yeah.
And they start talking about like when they came to the house, about how the realtor was like, oh, you'd only show us at certain times, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, they make a joke or a comment that like the realtor that sold them the place only let them be in there for 5 minutes at a time,
and at very specific times of day, and how weird it was. And
they were like, it didn't hit us until the first night when, you know, the rumbling happened. And I'm like, I'd fucking kill my realtor if that happened. I'd be like, I have your phone number, you idiot.
I know who you are.
Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
Somerset makes a joke about, like, home sweet rumbling home, or, like...
they talk about that, though, and Somerset fucking loses it. Like, he laughs so fucking hard.
Oh, yeah. They are, at this point, this has completely broken the tension. They're all laughing, they're all smiling. He makes the dumbass joke, and they're just, like, having... all of the tension in the room has faded. All of the awkwardness has gone away. You can see that they've broken through it, and now are good. And
I think Mills just needed to see that Somerset was an actual human being and not a robot.
Yeah, and I mean,
like,
going from probably, like, think about the dynamic of, like, you could tell he already had a dynamic with whoever his partner was before, right? Like, trying to, like, talk about cases before and, like, do that kind of stuff. And he was trying to bring that dynamic into a new dynamic where Somerset doesn't seem like he's ever had a partner.
Yeah.
He's only ever worked with uniforms or something like that, because he's like, shut the fuck up, I'm working. Like, why are you talking to me? It's growing pains is what it is, right? Of just, like, learning someone new, learning how they work, and finding common ground on how they can get along. And they do that from this point forward. They're operating on common ground of, we're really opposite fucking people, but we have the same goal in mind, and we can work with that. I don't know what other word I was looking for.
Collaborate or whatever.
Like, or we can build off of that. Or, you know.
100%.
So dinner ends, whatever. It cuts to them at the coffee table working on the case again.
Yeah, because after dinner they decide to, like, you know, put their heads together and start going over some stuff. They're talking about, like, what they read about in Purgatory and
they're
those books,
and comparing it to the Greed, the second murder with the defense attorney. This is where we learn that he was forced to carve off a pound of flesh, and he had to put it on the scales of justice.
Yep.
And weigh, you know, like, what is a pound of flesh worth to you, or something like that.
Yeah.
The photos we see too are, he's stripped naked. He's only in his underwear, having to carve off his flesh. And they start talking about Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
They go over, it was there and then it just went away.
They go over the order of the 7 deadly sins and how technically pride is first. But we started with gluttony. And they just, like, make a quick note of it. And they're like, that's weird. Like, pride is first. And they're like, I don't know, we'll have to table that for later. But, like, good catch on you, or something like that.
Yeah, I think this is also where we find out that the defense attorney, this guy was not a good guy. Like, maybe I'm thinking of
We mentioned we're not talking about any of the dialogue or not diving into the dialogue too much, and so I don't have it written down, but they were talking about him not being the greatest guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they said about him.
Do they mention why? Because I know that gets revealed at some point, but like
they say something about it, like he had
I know
a
what it is.
mistress,
I don't want to give it away if it's not the time yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of skepticism and say a lot of things about him, but I don't think they specifically state what in this point in time.
The only reason it made me think that is because Somerset actually brings up the comment about like when women are being raped, don't yell for help, yell fire, because people don't respond when you yell for help, but people will
respond to fire.
Right. And Brad Pitt's character is like, oh my God, that's really fucked up. So, and you can cut this out if this isn't right, but that's why I thought that like they were talking about the fact that the defense attorney let a man who like raped
no, you're correct.
Someone go like
yes, that does happen.
Go
here.
free.
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have to cut that out.
You are correct. That is what they were talking about, and that's why
he makes the comment.
Yes, exactly.
And that comment, I don't know if that's where it originated, but I've heard that before.
Which one?
The whole thing about rape and like if you.
Oh no, that's something that we're actually taught.
Yeah, that
I was told that as a child.
Yeah, that's really fucking depressing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and to be fair, again, we said 95 was the year before we were born. I think, unfortunately, it's just the fact of being female presenting that we are taught that, and he is 1,000% correct. Like,
I just didn't realize that it went even farther back than that, because like I don't know, to me it's like something that
modern world problem.
Yeah, exactly. But
no, especially like I think I can't tell you exactly when it was made, but it also makes sense for farther back, right?
Yes, because less
modern technology, less
surveillance.
Yes.
Yeah, so you could get away with more.
Mm-hmm.
Back then it was easier to like pull someone around a corner and get away with shit like that, versus now you can't even walk through your neighborhood without being caught on camera, like because fucking Ring cameras.
And the thing with I've heard people of like different countries also know this, like it's a being just a woman universal unfortunate thing. Unfortunately, this just is a worldly truth, and I hate it.
I hate it too, honestly. But I guess the point of he's a shitty guy is what we're yes.
They talk about evidence and stuff too. At this point, they're talking about how there are no extra fingerprints, and on either of the cases, there's no fingerprints. There's nothing that connects the victims. No one saw anything. No one's seen anything weird. But then, also this type of environment, this type of city, like even if someone did see something, they ain't telling nobody.
Yeah.
We also they talk about Gould's wife and the blood on the picture, and they debate whether or not it's like she knows something, or she saw something, or it's something she should have seen. Mm-hmm. And they're going back on these things. And so they decide to go to the safe house where she is being kept, because they're like, she knows something. And like, Somerset just had at least 2 glasses. Oh, I skipped over like one of my favorite parts. So at dinner, Tracy gives Somerset a glass of wine and a wine glass. And while they're at the coffee table talking, Mills gets up to go get a beer, and he's like, do you want a beer? And he's like, wine, actually. And he comes back with a glass of wine, like just a normal cup of wine, and hands it to Somerset. And Somerset's like,
that's so funny. I had no idea. I didn't even.
It's just like a normal cup you'd get some milk in or something. It's just filled with wine.
That's so funny.
But my point being, they're like a few beers and a couple glasses of wine in, going to a victim's wife at a safe house right now in the middle of the night.
They do show, they straight up show up, and they like sit down with her and they talk, and
they show her crime scene photos.
They ask her questions. They show her crime scene photos.
They do put a sticky note over her dead husband so she doesn't have to see his body. But she
sees like the word greed, or like blood. Half of it. Yeah, like
she's breaking down.
She's having a rough time. And then, like, as they're showing her these videos of pictures of the crime scene, she notices something's off, and she's like, "Oh, this painting is upside down."
And they're like, "Are you sure?
Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, like
They had just had a conversation about it, or like he had just bought it, or just talked about it. It was very recent that she had found.
But she's like, "Yeah, it's upside down," and they're both like, "What the fuck?" And so they go back into
his office, his law law firm office. The thing is, too, is that this painting is an abstract painting.
Yes.
You would not know which way is up or down or left or right unless you knew.
Yes, unless it was someone who knew.
Which is why they didn't see it in the first place, because like it's just so abstract.
It wasn't like a picture of someone's face that was upside down where
Or
you could
like
be like, that's odd. Like, no, it was just colors and shapes.
Yeah, exactly. And so they go over and they take it down and they notice that he took their suspect took off the hooks that were already on there, unscrewed them and re-screwed them to a new location for him to be able to flip the painting, because it's one of those paintings that has the metal wire to hang it instead of like just hooks. And there's nothing on it. They take a pocket knife to the back of the painting because it's a canvas painting, and so there's like that cover that goes over the canvas so nothing gets on the back of the canvas. There's nothing in there. Mills makes the comment, or Somerset's like, is anything wrong with it? And Mills is like, I don't know, I didn't fucking paint it. Why would I know if something's wrong with it? And they're looking around and they see nothing, absolutely nothing, until Somerset gets on the cabinets that are right below this painting and finger dusts the wall. And they start catching stuff, and you're looking at them like you're the wall. And they're like, we get to get forensics in here, and they get the whole forensics team. And in fingerprints spells out, help me.
Yeah. Like as if someone dragged their finger to spell.
Not dragged. It's finger.
Oh yeah,
printed.
like print. Yeah. Like yes, like
individual prints of making each letter, and it's multiple fingerprints per letter. It's very, very intentional.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing they find.
Yeah,
the poor tech. So they go back to the police station. They're sitting in the tech's office as he's running the fingerprints. And they're just, like, bickering back and forth like an old married couple at this point. And they're just talking. Oh, and the tech is like, this can take up to 3 days. Y'all want to find somewhere else to be?
Yeah, like, y'all can go fucking wait literally anywhere else.
So there's a couch outside the lab, and they just sleep on the couch outside the lab.
Yeah, they go out and they sit on the couch. And I like Somerset's dialogue in this because they're sitting around and Mills is like, this fucking sucks. Like, what can we do? Like, what are we doing? And Somerset's like, oh yeah, we're collecting all this evidence. We're, we're filing all this paperwork. We're doing all this shit on the hopes that someday it maybe could be used admissibly in court. And that's if, we even get anywhere. And it's this whole like,
yeah, even if we have a suspect or something like that.
He does a really good job of like putting it into words, their situation. He mentions that he says that it's like they're on an island digging up diamonds waiting to be rescued, which I think is because like you're finding all of this evidence. You found fingerprints. You found like all this shit, but you can't fucking do anything. Yeah, you just got to sit around and shove shit up your ass, and it fucking sucks.
He's so cynical. And Mills is not.
Yes.
So, I don't remember Mills's comeback, but he's like, I don't see it that way, or just like just like super dismissive of this like very poetic thing, and then he just like lays on the arm of the couch and curls up under his jacket and goes to sleep.
Yeah, they pass the fuck out.
They get woken up by the captain, who like calls them like some kind of twins. It's obviously a reference to something that I did not get because of the time this whatever, and it's just like, get up, we got a match. Yep. Like, and it turns out to be this guy named Victor, and they all get in the cruiser. They got SWAT, they got everybody. It
turns into this like intense like music operation playing. Yeah, you see like, the SWAT gearing up, and they're all loading into the vans, and they're talking about like how they're gonna go take this guy down and shit.
And the entire time Somerset is looking at the case file and is like, I don't think this is our guy. Do you think this is our guy? Talking to Mills, and Mills
is like, I don't think so, but what the fuck?
His fingerprints match, like it's fine. Like we got it, we'll do it, whatever. Victor seems like their guy on paper, right? He's got the rap sheet to match. He's got like religious trauma in the background. He's all of this kind of stuff. But Somerset, he doesn't have the conviction. This is weird. Like our guy has a plan and conviction, and he doesn't have that.
He's like doing it for a reason. Like you can like. And you can see this for yourself as the viewer. By the time that you see, a couple of these murders, you're like, oh no, like this guy's not just doing it because God told him to. There's like shit in his head that is like
He's got a plan and he is executing
Conviction
it
is
hard.
is the only word to use. Like very strong convictions, with just like
He's got some mental fortitude that I do not have because I can never stick to a plan.
yeah, and we'll get to that too. Like we'll expand on that
Yeah.
more shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Because so they
They
SWAT and everyone, they bust into this building.
Right before that, I do want to mention this. They have a conversation about taking a bullet. On the way to this to get Victor, Mills asks if Somerset has ever taken a bullet, ever shot his gun. He talks about he's pulled his gun like 2 times or 3 times and only had to shoot it once or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mills talks about how he's had to pull it and he's had to shoot it, and that a younger detective, a younger cop, took
That's
a bullet in the shoulder and ended up bleeding out. And he's beating himself up because he can't remember the kid's name. He's like, what the fuck is that kid's name? What is his name? And he like can't do it. And it's a really interesting scene that seems out of place here, but it makes sense later in the movie. And that's the only reason I wanted to bring it up, because later on this comes back.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good point.
But yes, they bust into this, again, rundown apartment building. It's low income housing. It's literally like they pass people who are like trying to hide in walls. I think it's trying to portray like, you know, the stereotypical like only druggies and, you know, drug dealers live here and like prostitute type deal. Like that type of environment is what
it's a very down place. It's rough.
Yeah. And they bust into unit 306. And they're clearing rooms as they go, right? Like SWAT.
Very intense. Like this is, again, you have to watch it, because us just explaining it sounds like whatever. But like when the music is swelling and the suspense of them like walking in each room, and like you don't know if someone's just gonna fucking leap around from the corner. Like you don't know. It's so suspenseful.
So my first time watching this movie, I literally thought they were gonna kick that door in and it was gonna explode. And the reason I thought that is because one of the SWAT guys like brushes past the Mills and Somerset and is like, SWAT before dicks, and he busts past them, and it cuts from that to him busting down the door. I thought it was going to explode because that was a very intentional scene to be like, you guys can't go in first.
Yeah.
That I was like, that's the type of high tension that we're seeing.
That's a good red
here.
herring too.
Yeah.
Like, because they kind of play off of that. I don't know if could be stretching, but like, when did Die Hard come out? Around that time, like
I feel like it, right?
You know, maybe people thought like, oh, maybe we could get him with a fake out. This one, you know, like I don't know. It's such a dumb fucking
88.
reach. Oh Jesus, really?
Yeah. What?
That's crazy. I mean,
did you know it's based on a novel?
Die Hard?
Yeah.
Because that's a good fake out, especially when you're building up the suspense for this scene.
Yeah.
Even when they break in, at any point, you know, your brain could be thinking like, there could be a tripwire past any of these doorways.
Just something like that, right? Because they just made it so intentional that SWAT is going in first, and you don't know any of these guys' names.
And then, like, after every room that they clear, you're like, oh, God, so it's got to be the next one, right? Because there's only so many rooms in this apartment.
Right.
But there's so many rooms in this apartment.
It's a really big apartment. I'm like, who the hell? This is the biggest apartment I've ever seen in my damn life.
It's one of those that, like,
it's
got, like, 5 rooms, but they're all just connected by hallways, but it's like a T almost, so they're all like across from each other. Like it's so weird.
It made me think of like those high-end apartments in like New York that you buy and live in. You don't rent the apartment. It's like you get a giant chunk. That's what I thought of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really a lot for this type of apartment complex. But I mean, it really helped with the tension.
Yeah.
They get down, they clear all of these rooms, they get into the last room, which is the primary room. It's a really big primary room.
Yeah.
And hanging from the ceiling are the car fresheners that are shaped like trees.
Yeah.
And it is so many of them.
Like a couple hundred car fresheners all just hanging from the ceiling. So immediately you're like, oh, okay. Like there's only 2 things that could be here.
Yeah. They're covering a dead body. What is happening?
Yeah.
And the sheet, there's on the bed.
Yeah. They can see like the form of a person, and so they're yelling for them to get up out of bed, and there's no movement, and SWAT guy walks up and pulls the sheet off, and it's this
decrepit
like skeleton of a man,
bed sores,
like yeah, fucking gross.
Like he's strapped to the bed. It's like he's laid here and starved. There's also sloth is written above the bed in blood. His hands are cut off. or at least one
his
of his
left
hands.
hand is cut off.
They find a box next to the bed that is pictures depicting chronologically this man's torture, and it has been a year.
Yes. So like each of the pictures is fucking time-stamped.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the first one, it just looks like this dude who's kind of beat up, but he's laying in bed. And then, yeah, the pictures get more and more like...
I think it was like a year to the day or something.
It
too.
was
like,
a year to the day that they found him from the first picture.
So you want to talk about conviction and methodical?
That, like, I mean, the timing on that is fucking insane, but, you know...
Along with the pictures are fingernail clippings, hair samples, fucking urine, feces, like anything you could want from this guy. Is in this box.
So essentially, like, they feel like they're being toyed with because...
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, they are being toyed with. They, like, this guy gave them...
Everything.
Every fucking piece of DNA that they could possibly need to...
And as they're going through that, one of the SWAT guys comes over and gets right up into this guy's face and is like, we fucking got you. And then the dude breathes.
The dude gets up and, like, yells. Or he doesn't get up, but he, like, fucking, like... takes a gasp for air and like it's super dramatic and loud, and he's like freaking out, and of course the SWAT guy reels back and everyone fucking
like
panics.
grabbing his gun like he's gonna shoot him.
Fucking crazy. It is just like so sudden and loud and like disruptive, and then cuts to the fucking hospital. And you're like, oh god, okay, I guess that is what, like, I think about it still, and it gives me the fucking chills because
being
first of
strapped
all,
to the bed and stuff.
not just that, but like the man being alive and like,
yeah,
you know, like fucking lurching up and like making that noise and everything. It just,
that's fair.
The thought of being trapped in bed for a year and just like having bed sores develop and like...
Yeah, there were like needles lying around too. Like he got stabbed multiple times. And
but,
like,
and again, they talk about this a lot. This killer is he's not just some fucking random psycho killer, because who has the patience to keep someone alive for a whole fucking year? Because you have to feed them. You have to, like, I mean, not that this guy was necessarily fed much, but
didn't he like also have a catheter implanted or something?
Yeah,
like he
was properly.
Properly isn't the right term, but he was like...
He was kept alive.
He was kept
for
alive.
a year. And
bare minimally kept alive.
Yeah. Heart beating, brain technically working. That's about as far as alive as he is.
Yeah. And at the hospital, the doctor goes into like what drugs were in his system because he had a fuck ton. He's like he was given
antibiotics. Probably
to make
for
sure
the bed sores.
Yeah, that's what it was said. Like he was given antibiotics so his bed sores didn't get infected.
So you're like, oh, this guy was kept alive. Like, again, the killer, patient. He has
nothing was getting in his way of whatever he wanted done with this guy. No infection, no illness. He was gonna be found the way this guy wanted him to be found. The doctor goes into like how his brain is mush. That like they're like, oh well, when can we talk to him? And the doctor's like, you shine a flashlight in this guy's eyes, he's gonna go into shock and die. Like I'm surprised he survived this long. Also, you can't talk to him because he chewed off his tongue long ago. So bye. Like you're lucky if you get 24 hours with this man. Like
he was dying. Also like, yeah, this man also went through the worst torture of his life, and he has hell to look forward to. And I was like, oh yeah, because this is the guy who that we find out that this is the guy who was freed by Eli Gould for raping.
Okay, he was not a good person.
Either it was just a woman or a little girl. Either way, it was fucking awful.
Yeah.
And so the lawyer still helped free this guy. Anyways, yeah. So you're like, oh yeah, he is going to hell after all that torture.
Yeah, fuck him. Because like at first I felt bad for him. I was like, he had a rap sheet and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, like, you know what? Some people are like down on their luck. Some shit happens. Like, is he just stealing whatever? And then you find out what he did and you're like, oh, fuck him. I don't give a shit. Yeah. He's a terrible person.
I forgot we forgot to mention, so after they like take the dude out of after they take Victor out of the apartment and stuff, Somerset and Mills are like out in the hallway,
right? Yeah,
at the top of the stairs, and they're like talking about, oh god, I can't even remember what they're talking about.
They're having an intense conversation and Mills is getting fucking angry.
Mills is getting pissed off.
He's like, I feed off my emotions. Like he's getting pissed, like heavily pissed. Somerset is like, we need to be calm and rational, all of this kind of stuff. Like, you need to calm down. He's like, I don't need to fucking calm down. And he's like freaking out. And then a paparazzi guy pops around from up the stairs and is taking photos of them.
Yeah, and Mills is like, the fuck is your problem, dude? Like, he's like, oh, fucking, I can't remember exactly what he says, but
goes after him. He's like, you need to get the fuck out of here. This is a closed off crime scene, blah, blah, blah. And the
I think
paparazzi
he,
is like,
throws the camera.
yeah, he's like, we have the right to be here. Throws the camera, hits him, does something.
Takes a picture of Mills, actually. Like, he gets a picture off. But
he gets at least one, if not many.
Yeah.
And Somerset is like, oh, yeah, look at watching a man feed off of his anger. Like,
well, and he also mentions, like, oh, yeah, like, this, like, unfortunately, paparazzi pay the police good money to get information, because Mills is like, how the fuck did they know that we're here?
Like we just got here. Like, how does he know? And
yeah, so this, like, Somerset's like, yeah, unfortunately, like, the cops can be bought for information, like,
just like anyone else. Again, his cynical outlook of, like, everyone can be bought, everything is awful, like, it doesn't even fucking matter now.
Yeah.
Then we get Somerset back at home, and he gets a call from Tracy asking to meet up. She doesn't know anyone else. She just like to go have breakfast and chat.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a lot of tags, but we're on Friday now.
Yes, I definitely missed those tags too, because
I don't know when they popped up, but here we are on Friday.
I think Thursday happened. I think they showed Thursday when they woke up on the couch.
That would make sense.
When the fingerprints were ready.
Did we get? I think we also missed one. No, we had Wednesday, so I just missed Thursday. I missed Tuesday and Thursday did not pop up, or I missed them.
Yeah, Thursday would have definitely been
finding Victor.
I think Greed would have been day 2. Greed would have been Tuesday. That
makes sense. I didn't catch them.
I didn't catch them either, honestly, until it was Sunday, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot it's been a week. Holy shit.
So Friday opens. Somerset and Tracy are getting breakfast at this little diner.
It's so crowded, and it just makes me so happy that I don't live in a place like that.
It looks like such a cute diner, though.
It does.
I feel like you would go there and have, like, the most kick-ass diner breakfast ever.
But at the cost of being shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of angry city livers, like, I couldn't fucking do it.
No, it again gives off the feeling of being in a big city, like Chicago or Detroit or, like, somewhere big. They're having a conversation about, Tracy's like, I didn't want to move here. I miss back home. I don't like it here. I don't know anyone here. She pretty much is, like, just saying, like, she feels super neglected and, like, she just feels very alone, and the only person she knows in the city besides her husband is Somerset.
Yeah.
She also, like, tells him all of this, and Summer's like, well, did you tell Mills? And she's like, I don't want to burden him. Like, he already has so much going on. I don't also want to be a burden.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm also pregnant.
Yeah. And Somerset's like, did you tell him? And she's like, not yet. And he goes into this whole thing about, like,
the love of his life and their life together, and how he convinced her, like, he was very happy to have a kid until he wasn't. Yeah. We've also had this conversation about, like, how scary it is bringing a kid into this world. Like, is it even responsible to bring a kid into this world with everything that's happening? And we don't live in a place like this.
Yeah.
Well, not as bad. We're not as bad.
I live far enough away from all of that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, like,
I live out here where it's nice and quiet.
Yes, so. We do live in a big city, but we live on the outskirts, like a suburb of the big city.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad. It's definitely not this. We're not hearing about people getting their eyes gouged out every Tuesday or things like that, you know? We mostly have to worry about human trafficking.
Yeah.
But anyways, tells Tracy this story, and then his specific words were like, I whittled her down day by day by day until I convinced her to get rid of it. And he doesn't, though, he never says abortion, and he never says, like, his phrasing is very specific.
Yeah.
And about not having the kid. And he says, I believe, if I'm correct, he's like, I regret it every day, but I would never change my choice. Or something like that. Like, I would never go back and change it. I know in my heart I made the right decision.
I think are you sure? Because yes. I thought he said something like...
He said it was contradictory, where he's like, he regrets it, but he knows he made the right choice, or something like that. It was very a contradictory statement.
I thought he said he didn't regret it, but he would have made a different choice if he could have.
It's one of those.
I'm pretty sure that was it, because, like, I remember thinking it being worded slightly differently. I think it was something like that. Anyways.
The wiki says he does regret it.
Okay.
So,
Well,
having persuaded his former girlfriend to abort their child for similar reasons and regretting it ever since. So I think you're correct in the phrasing. It was just a contradictory statement.
Yeah.
About, like, he regretted it, but...
He says, like, he doesn't regret it, but if he could go back and make a different decision, he would.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. And she advises, you do whatever you want. I'm not here to persuade you either way. But if you don't keep it, don't ever tell Mills.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever let him know. Do not tell him unless you want to keep that kid.
Yeah.
And then he goes to work. He gets paged because we're in the era of pagers.
Yep.
He gets paged to the precinct where he and Mills talk about Victor and, like, his whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mills thinks...
They mentioned...
Oh, the guy is a lunatic. They have this whole conversation about whether Mills is on the side of anyone who does this shit is clinically insane.
Yes.
Where Somerset is on the side of he's so calculating and so smart. No one this smart can be insane.
Especially, yeah, because Somerset mentions the fact that the landlord for that building, supposedly Victor was his quietest tenant because he always got his rent on time and never got any complaints.
Yep.
Meaning that, like, the killer paid this dude's rent every month for a fucking year while he tortured him in his, like, that's how
he's so many steps ahead of just making sure everything is good, that nothing is gonna, like, take a hitch out of his plan. It's gonna go to a T, that no lunatic could do something so strategic.
Yeah.
And I feel like we see this a lot in, like, cop and crime dramas, that everyone wants to believe that someone who could do something so heinous is just clinically insane.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the definition of insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's become so, like, colloquial to just call people who do these outlandish things crazy or insane, and that's not the actual definition of those words. Like, words mean nothing.
Yeah.
So I understand where Mills is coming from, of being like, this guy is a fucking lunatic, meaning he's so out there, like, no sane person could do this. And Somerset is like, oh, we just need to go to the library and see who checked out all of these books. There's so much research that goes into all of this. Look at all of the research we had to do. We just need to see who the fuck checked out all of these books.
But
and
they have to do it quietly. Like, they essentially go to a diner and meet up with this shady ass fucking dude. Because Somerset, like, asks, they're, like, at the precinct, and Somerset asks Mills, like, how much cash you got? He's like, I don't know, like $50.
He's like, all right.
He's like, that'll work. Come with me.
They go to a diner.
They go to a little diner
and sit on the same side of this tiny little booth. And Mills is like, you want to sit across from me?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm good. And he's, like, folding up this money. So he gets the money from Mills and then takes money out of his pocket and is folding it up so intricately. And this shady guy comes in, sits across from him. He's like, who the fuck is this? And he's like, nobody consequential, or, like, my partner. He says something, and that's, like, all of the words they share before he hands him money. And he's like, we'll see. And leaves. It's
the dude says something like, I'm sticking my neck out for you, but, like, gotta be quiet. Just something, like, shady, you know. Somerset hands him the money and then he walks out.
It's like a weird informant situation where it's like he's getting information and you just gotta pay him to get the information.
They sit around for about an hour, and then
Mills is getting angry because he's like, why don't you trust me? Why aren't you telling me the thing? And the angrier Mills gets, like, the calmer Somerset gets, and they just, like, spectrum off so hard here, where it's just like one man is just so angry and the other one's like, this guy, just take a chill pill, like, we're just hanging out, what's going on with you?
Well, and then Somerset explains to Mills, like, oh yeah, the FBI tracks people who, like, check out suspicious books. So they'll, like, flag people who check out books like Mein Kampf, or, like, you know, books on how to make nuclear bombs, or, you know. Yeah,
was Charles Manson a thing? Did that just happen? When is the Manson stuff? Because I feel like it was Manson, or because I thought he said the Manson family.
You know, I think you're right.
Because there was a book or something that came out about it, the Helter Skelter.
Yes, that's what he mentions.
He mentions, like, checking out that, and Mills is like, isn't that really illegal and against privacy? And he's like, well, yeah, they don't tell anyone they're doing it.
Yeah, he's like, it's the fucking FBI. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, and so Somerset is essentially like, because it's not fully legal, and, like, because we're working through our own legal pipelines, nobody can know, like, you don't know about this, and neither do I. Like, it's got to be super secretive kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'm trusting you so much right now, and you have to just trust me as well. Like, I've never told anyone about that I know about this. You can't tell anyone I know about anything about this. As they're having the conversation, the informant, who now we know is an FBI guy, walks in,
hands him an envelope, and then walks out.
And in the envelope, they find Jonathan Doe.
Yeah, they're looking through these like people who've gotten books related to like purgatory and like
all of the sin related books.
Yeah, Paradise Lost, yeah, that kind of shit. They come across a dude who rented out all these books by the name of Jonathan Doe, and they're like, John Doe, no fuck, like,
great.
Okay, well, at least, you know, that's a start, because who the fuck, you know, that's off. They end up going to the apartment complex of this Jonathan Doe, and they go up to the door at the end of this long hallway on like it's like the second floor of this building.
I think it's higher than that.
Maybe
maybe third. They have to get upstairs.
They have to go elevator. Up some flights of stairs to get up there, but they're at this door as they're there talking about like their plan.
They knock and stuff, and
they knock.
No one comes to the door.
Yeah, and then down the hall towards where they came from, you see a guy in like a trench coat and a hat with like grocery bags come up and then like once he sees them, he stops and then freezes for a second, and then Somerset sees him and is like, yo, Mills, like, what the fuck? And as Mills looks over, the dude drops his groceries and whips out a pistol and starts taking pop shots at him. And you're like, holy shit, okay. And all of a sudden, they're fucking shooting back at him, and it becomes this whole fucking gunfight.
This gunfight turned into the most insane chase scene that I don't have notes on it. I could not keep track of what was happening. He jumps out a window, they're running across rooftops,
this is
then they
crazy.
Bust into someone's apartment, and then they're on his second floor, and then they're in like a ballroom, and then they're in a storage room. It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
But this is why I brought up the taking a bullet in the gun stuff, because they both have to pull out their guns at this point. And they both talk about how like they only pull out their guns if they're ready to kill someone. And so it's like a big thing to see both of them like whip out their guns and be ready to like go.
Yeah, it is a very crazy scene. Mills ends up chasing this guy like outside over like some rooftops. But it's like enclosed rooftops, like between apartment buildings almost.
Yeah, it's like the like half rooftop where they keep like the ACs and stuff, like maintenance rooftop versus like actual tall rooftop.
Yeah, there's a point where they're like running through a parking garage is what it looks like, and then at one point they both jump out like onto the main street.
Yeah, they go down like the fire escape, and then
Mills like chases him through this alley and like down this alley, and then he comes across this big truck.
It's like either like a Penske or a trash truck or like a delivery truck. It's one of those big types of trucks. It's just one of those bigger trucks
like in an alleyway, but it's pouring rain and he's looking around, and then all of a sudden Mills gets schmacked right upside the head.
Didn't he get shot in the shoulder too?
Did he get shot in the shoulder?
Like in the hallway or something?
I think so.
He ends up getting shot in the shoulder at some point. I think so. Because he ends up having to have the brace on. Something happens to his arm. Whether or not he's shot or like something happens to his arm.
Mans gets a pipe like straight to the face. Yeah. And like he's just like on the ground, like reeling truly. And as you see Mills try and like stifle himself to get up, you see a gun get put to his head, and you're like, oh, fuck. And then it's just like this still for a minute, and you see Mills, like in his eyes, kind of like accepting that he's probably going to die right now. Yeah,
because Somerset comes up and is like, you see him? And the guy's like, lie or you die, or something like that.
I don't think he says anything.
He says something. He says something. I don't remember what he says, because he says something to where like Mills, I thought he said something. Maybe he doesn't.
Did he just say like, does he say something about he wasn't meant to die or something like that?
He says words. Again, the dialogue for this movie is wild. I don't remember a lot of it.
It's a lot.
Something gets said, and Mills is like, nope, I don't see him, as he's actively bleeding and like rain and blood is in his eyes, and then the guy runs off. And I'm pretty sure he takes Mills's gun too, which I thought was gonna like come back to haunt him later about his gun getting used in like a murder or something.
Did he take it?
I thought
don't
he did.
think so.
Did he drop? There's no way he gives Mills his gun back.
What?
I'm pretty sure he runs off with a gun.
I mean, he does take. Does he? Does he? Is it?
He might have like maybe
Is
he
it
throws
Mills'
it in the
gun
truck. Yeah,
that he uses. To
yeah. So
point
when
it
he
at his head?
clocks Mills in the head, his gun slides away, and the guy picks up his gun because he had like a revolver, and Mills has the 9mm, just like your standard Glock, and so that's the gun that gets pointed at his head.
I see. I thought he pointed the gun that he shot at them in the hallway with.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Mills's gun. And he either runs off with it or he throws it over the truck. He does something with it to make sure Mills doesn't have a gun right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess I didn't catch that.
It cuts to them in front of the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Debating on whether or not they should break in. And Somerset has, again, the whole dialogue of, like, this is illegal. We have no reason to be here. We have no, like, you can't just do this. Like, how the hell are we going to explain how we even knew where to come? Like, we can't tell them that the FBI is doing shit and that I have an informant. Yeah. And Mills is going crazy. He seems to get Mills to calm down. Mm-hmm. And Mills is like, fine, we'll come back another day, whatever. And then as he's walking away, he turns around and just fucking kicks the door open and is like, well, I mean, we're already
too
here.
late now.
And Somerset leaves. He just dips.
Yeah, Somerset's like, I'm not fucking doing this.
I'm not a part of this.
So what Mills ends up doing to get around it is he just pays some druggie to like tell the cops a story about them like eyewitnessing some weird accounts of this dude, and that's why that like gave them the idea to like come knock on this dude's apartment.
Yeah, just like some shit about just giving him probable cause to kick in the door or whatever.
Like that's so funny because that's exactly like it just plays into the whole dichotomy between like the put togetherness of Somerset versus like the chaotic but like
well-meaning
the willpower to just fucking I don't fucking care. Like, I'm just getting this done.
I will find if there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, and I'm gonna do it.
Like it's so funny because like Somerset's the exact opposite. He's like, no, we got to do it like this, and it's got to be like this, and you know, it's got to line up like this.
And in my head, like it's Mills thinking ahead of, or not Mills. It's Somerset thinking ahead of how this is going to play out in trial, and Mills is a much more in the moment kind of guy, not thinking about how this is going to affect anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
So they get forensics. They
get everyone into that place.
Everyone's in this apartment.
And it is the guy's place.
It's the guy. They had the right guy. Everything is painted black. There's religious iconography.
Yes.
Everywhere. There's specimens in jars. There's journals. There's a dark room.
You eventually come up on a hand in a jar, which they comment that's probably Victor's hand. And you're like, oh, that's how he put the fingerprints on the wall behind the painting oh, yeah, he had that dude's hand.
Yes. And the apartment is also very meticulous. Like there is a rack of like torture / murder type weapons. Yeah. All of the journals are lined up perfectly on the shelvings. Like we talked about how everything is dilapidated and messy in this entire movie. This apartment is the cleanest fucking thing besides Somerset's
apartment. Not 100% true. I remember there's a part where it's like showing Mills walking into where Somerset's sitting down reading the journals. Mm-hmm. And like behind Somerset on the floor is like they're just like it's just fucking
it's all
not
papers
taken care of.
I thought that was so it's all papers and stuff. So I thought that was Somerset like
no, there's like like the actual like parts of the house or like the apartment were getting
gotcha.
Not gross like the fat man's place, but
just like old wear and tear type deal.
Just like whoever stays here obviously doesn't spend 30 minutes a week cleaning. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So it's not like gross, but it is
messy.
It is messy and like lived in heavily and
gotcha. Yeah, it's not again not Somerset clean, but it's not like dilapidated.
Yeah, it's not like decaying.
Yes.
It's just more like this guy was a fucking hermit. He shut himself in like hella.
There's like a neon glowing red cross above his single person bed in one of the rooms. And like, again, every single wall is painted black.
Yeah.
Everything is black in here. Somerset sits down and is like going through all of the journals and is talking about how like they could have 100 men working 100 hours and it would still take them 10 years to go through all of the journals or something because like of how small the handwriting in it is, and nothing's dated or labeled. It's just a stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
While Mills finds the dark room, which is the bathroom. And I don't know about you, but as soon as like he opened that door and there was like the red light shining, I was like, oh my God, it's a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck kind of pictures are we going to be seeing in the dark room?
Yeah.
And he takes his flashlight in there. And my first thought was, you're going to ruin everything. You've never developed pictures in your goddamn life if you're just going to be shining a photo on all of these, or shining your flashlight on all of these photos.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to ruin everything in there. He ends up finding the photos from the paparazzi man from earlier. This is the paparazzi guy.
Yeah. That's when Mills is like, Somerset, get your fucking ass in here. And he's like, we had him. Somerset's like, what? He's like, we fucking had him. It was the fucking photographer. And you're like, oh shit. And then it shows the photo of Mills and Somerset at the top of those stairs in that apartment complex. And you're like, holy shit. Oh my God.
Yes. And so then one of the forensics people runs Mills through all of the things they found, like all of this evidence except no fingerprints.
No fingerprints.
No identifying factors. There's nothing in here to tie a human to this room except that you see a human lives here. There's no hair. There's nothing. No passports, no IDs, nothing.
Yeah, they find like a box with cash in it, but there's no like there's literally no ties to a human being, like identification wise.
Yeah, and then a phone rings.
And Mills is like, holy shit. Starts sprinting through the apartment, starts telling people to shut the fuck up because they're talking, and he's trying to figure out where this fucking phone is.
And he ends up finding like the phone cord, fucking traces it back to a room, and it's like under a bunch of stuff, and he picks up the phone. And it's a male voice on the other side. And he calls, like, Somerset comes over with a recorder. And they're able to... The guy says he has to adjust his schedule because they fucked up. He did not expect them to find him so quickly.
Yes. But, yeah, and that he admires their work or something like that.
Yeah, it's very, what's the right word? Like, he's very purposeful in his speech about the phrasing he uses when talking to them.
Yeah.
And it's very much like, oh, yes, I admire you guys so much in your willpower, and I have to adjust my schedule because of how amazing you guys are at finding me. I did not expect this. And it's very, like, even keel-toned, very neutral, and before they can even, like, get a word in, the guy hangs up.
Yeah.
They compare the murders to this guy preaching a sermon too. Like that's how they end up describing everything later when they go back to the precinct. They're like going through everything and they're talking about how like this is him preaching at us. He's giving us a sermon on sins and things like that. And they find a picture of a blonde woman. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't go back to the precinct. They're talking about this in that little closet with the phone. And they find in the pictures and the evidence here, they find a picture of a blonde woman who they assume is a sex worker. And then it cuts to Saturday.
Yep. And
they go.
Is this where they just show up to the fucking like underground club?
No, they show up at a bondage sex shop.
Oh, that's right. They show up at a bondage sex shop, and
where this guy makes custom harnesses and custom pieces, as it were. They show him a picture, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I made that. That's not the weirdest thing like I've ever made." And they're like, "You don't remember who did this?" And he's like, "Dude, this is like your average Tuesday for me. Like that's not that fucking weird."
Yeah.
Or like asks John Doe. He shows them the picture. That's right. Because they ask if he has any orders from John Doe. I don't remember how they got that information, a receipt. I don't know.
I can't remember either.
But the worker shows him a picture of what John Doe ordered, and they run off with the picture, and he's like, "My picture, my fucking, do I get that back?" And then they get paged to the underground club.
Yes, they show up to this underground club, and there's police like as they're walking through. You see like police in like the corners and like in the background every now and then, like patting people down and like.
But the thing is like
doing a sweep of this place essentially.
The club music is still blaring.
Yes, but the club music is still fucking popping. The detectives come up on a room, on the door of this room as they're entering it. On the door is scratched "Lust," and you're like, "Oh shit, this is probably not going to be good."
And then it cuts between them interrogating the club owner and this guy
Yes, so
Because-
it immediately cuts to, like, you can see both of the interrogation rooms side by side. Somerset's in the one on the left talking to a very scarred looking man who's shaking like a chihuahua. And then on the right, you have Mills talking to a longer haired gentleman who looks kind of shady, who is the proprietor of the place.
He looks like your average shady fucking strip club owner. He's got like the button down shirt that's like halfway down his chest with like the brown blazer, and it's just like he's like, I don't know nothing about nothing. Blah, 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 blah.
Mills is like, oh, you get some sick pleasure out of like seeing this shit, and the dude's like, no, like what the just because you work in homicide, does that mean you love to see like people getting murdered? Like the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, it's just a fucking job, man.
Like,
I don't know
what the fucking job. Like
what happens behind closed doors isn't any of my business. I don't know what's going on.
Did you see anyone bring anything in? He's like, dude, I see people bring suitcases worth of shit in. Like it's not my fucking. And then it cuts to Somerset talking to the dude, and this man is trembling.
He's scarred. He's PTSD. He's whatever the fuck. This
I feel
poor man,
so bad for this.
This
man.
Actor though, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Thought that he actually had to do this because he was like, this man was probably having an actual panic attack to do the scene just because he wanted to do it so well. That's how.
He did it so well. He's fucking crying. He's trembling. He's
trying to talk about the fact that this man like put a gun to his head.
Put this strap on him that is a blade.
They cut back to images of this harness that's just this. It's a harness with a dildo on it, but at the end of it is a big blade. Like
gigantic blade that's like ornately curved and spiked. It's not just like a straight blade.
Yeah, no, it's like...
It's meant for harm.
This dude is like shaking, trying to explain to Somerset that like he was forced to put it on and then forced to fuck the girl with it. And
I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to kill her. I didn't know what to do. And the way he explains it too is like, it's not a coherent like A to B situation. He is jumping all over the place just trying to explain what the hell happened to him.
Yeah. It's very unsettling. Honestly, don't necessarily think it requires a trigger warning, but it is not meant for people that are uneasily messed with by stuff.
This murder
is uncomfortable.
This one is the one that got to me the worst.
It's bad.
And like, because thinking about dying that way is that one got me the worst. We'll get to the next one in a second, but I have other things to say on that one. But the lust death is the worst for me.
Yeah, it's bad.
We then get to them talking. Like, so the interviewees leave, and Somerset and Mills like meet back up, and they're talking about stuff. And Mills is still on. Is this when they go to the bar?
Yes, I think so.
They're at a bar, and Mills is still on the people who murder are crazy. They're like insane.
Psychopathic.
And Somerset is like, you won't be satisfied. If you think that way, you will never be satisfied with who we capture. We could, like, unless we capture Satan himself, you will not be satisfied. This is just a guy. This is just how humans are. This is just what they do. And Mills is like, thanks for the beer, but I will never accept that line of thinking. This is not people. This is a monster, or like something like that. Like, he straight up says, like, I don't believe in what you're saying. I don't believe your train of thought.
Yeah, and then Mills ends up just leaving, he's like, I want to go back home.
He's like, thanks for the beer. I'm going to go see my wife.
He crawls in bed with Tracy, and then obviously Somerset, he's like laying in bed, but then he ends up like getting up and...
He smashes his metronome.
Oh, that's right. He smashes his metronome, and he's like throwing his pocket knife or his switchblade at a dartboard, which I think is badass as fuck.
My only thing with it is like, you only get one throw. It's really like, you get one, he throws it, wanders over, grabs it, throws it, wanders back over. Just like multiple times you see him throw it. And like, this is a calming tactic for him. This is definitely like something he does to like relax or like think through something because of just how
this is his meditation.
Yeah. It's very practiced movements that he's doing this.
But he's pissed off.
Oh, he's this is the most angry you've seen him this entire movie.
Yeah. You can tell that he is like reaching a point.
Yes, he is reaching his breaking point or something.
And then it's Sunday.
And then we're on Sunday.
911. You see the 911 dispatch get a call. You hear the dude over the phone say something like, "I've done it again."
Yep.
And guy's like, "What have you done?" And then it cuts to the
victim.
The victim.
The new crime scene is a woman in bed with her face wrapped in gauze. She has a pill bottle glued to one hand and a phone glued to the other, and above her bed is Pride.
Yes. So the detectives come in, and Somerset's like, "Do you see what happened to Mills?" And Somerset's like, "There's a phone in one hand and a bottle of sleeping pills in the other. He carved up her face and bandaged her up and said, you can call and live, but be disfigured, or you can put yourself out of your misery." And that's what she did, apparently.
She took all of the sleeping pills and killed herself. So this one
is psychologically unnerving.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
Because, I could not imagine being so vain that I would rather kill myself than someone see me be quote unquote ugly.
Yeah, or disfigured.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that would give me the excuse to physically assault anyone who commented on my appearance. I'm sorry. At worst, you just don't leave your house and you just stick to your loved ones. And you just learn to love the simple things in life, but don't just. But again, I think this is where the extremes it fucking hits. Yeah. Because that's an extreme, and that is the epitome of that to me is what really hit home finally in the movie. That oh no, every single one of these murders was super intricately pushed on these people specifically because that was
he found people who fit it to a T. I'm a little confused on Sloth because he tied this man to a bed to make him not move.
I think that he just for that one. I think it was just he knew that this guy was a fucking piece of shit based off of the fact that he was gonna take care of the guy who got him off.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one that doesn't make sense to me is Sloth, and him having him tied to the bed. Because later on, I don't want to bring that up. We'll talk about it here in a second. But Pride is the one where it just is on a different level for me of idiocy. I don't know. Everyone else, I have more. Nope, that's not the right word either. Because I have zero empathy for that defense lawyer. I don't know. Envy just strikes me as the hardest one to connect with. I think is the thing is not. I keep saying envy. Pride. And maybe it's because I don't have that type of on myself. I don't care about looks. I guess that's what I like. I don't care how someone looks, and so maybe I don't have that pride of I have to be 100% perfect all of the time.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of some people. Their entire personality is their ego. And I think as people who were put through their ringer at a younger age, and I don't know, we both went through shit and came out the other side. I would say
looks is the last thing on my list. I got other shit going on.
I don't fucking care, dude. Honestly, I don't know how else to explain it, but there were days in my past, there were times where I didn't eat. That where food wasn't just a thing that was a 20,
Yeah.
And so all I really care about is the fact that I have a comfortable place to go to sleep at night and food in my stomach. At the end of the day, that's all I give a fuck about. But for people who just have it all and just get it all the fucking time, that's all it is for them. All it is
it reminds me of Repo the Genetic Opera with, who is it, Paris Hilton's character? Have you seen Repo? Oh my god, dude. We have to cover Repo.
I'm so down.
Envy, or I keep saying envy. Pride is what I thought of. Repo, same character.
Yeah, no, 100%.
All of the face stuff. Yes, you are correct. I think it's when people don't have anything else to worry about, then they go to ego.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it doesn't hit me, because I have other things to worry about than the way I look.
And not to say, like, I don't want this to sound like we're both humble bragging our dicks off. Like, we both still have egos, but, like, anyway.
Somerset gets asked if he could stay on for a few more days. He asks to stay on for a few more days to help out because he is now invested in the case. We are at Lust. We've gotten... No, we're not at Lust. What's after... We just did Pride.
Yeah, the only ones we have left are Envy and Wrath.
Yeah, so we're 5 murders in. There are 2 left. Like, if I was him, I would also ask. I need to see the end of this case. Like, even if I can't go to the trial, I need to see it through to the end. Yeah. Totally get where he's coming from. Tracy calls the precinct and leaves a message with the front desk. And the front desk chick is like, get a fucking answering machine. And like...
Oh, yeah, because they come into the precinct.
Yes.
And, like, they're walking through, and they pass the front desk, and the front lady is like, hey, yo, Mills, your wife called. You get a fucking photo, would you?
Get a fucking answering machine. I ain't it for you.
Get a fucking answering machine.
Yeah, what fucking ever, like, whatever, like, kind of blows it off, and as they're going up the stairs to do the thing, someone comes in and is like, detective, and they don't answer him. They're talking about something. He's like, detective!
He screams.
And he's covered in blood.
Turn around, this dude is covered in blood.
His fingers tips are all bandaged. He's clean shaved, no hair on his head, like nothing.
It's Kevin Spacey.
That's
Baby
right.
Driver's handler, if you've seen Baby Driver.
I've seen like 10 minutes of Baby Driver on accident.
I feel like that's where most people would know Kevin Spacey. Because otherwise, if I said it, they'd be like, from what? I'd be like, I don't even fucking know.
Besides Baby Driver?
I know he's in a lot. He's a great actor.
Oh, looking at him. Oh my God.
He looked very different back then. He was a lot younger. Obviously.
Yeah, I didn't. So I'm used to seeing him as like an older man.
Yes. And also he usually has some hair.
He does, yes.
Even if it is very short, he'll still have that like hairline.
God. Yeah, he's
I know, right? That was me too, because again, like at first I was like, holy shit, like I forgot Gwyneth Paltrow was in this movie. And then on Sunday, fucking he shows up and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's right. Kevin Spacey's the one.
The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Oh yes, Jesus.
I think that's the thing I know him most from.
I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I don't think I've seen it since it like came out on DVD.
Me
Austin
too.
Powers.
Oh my God.
That's what I know him from is Austin
Jesus
Powers Goldmember.
Christ.
That is what I know as I'm scrolling. Okay. So Kevin Spacey from Goldmember.
Yes. Fantastic. He's covered in blood. He is calm, quiet, and
he's like, I hear you've been looking for me, or he like, I'm here to turn myself in, or like
he
something.
says like, you've been looking for me, and Mills like yells, pulls his gun out, and like everyone doesn't panic, but obviously
it's a police office.
Yeah.
Everyone pulls out their guns and are like, oh.
It's like a oh my fucking God, like holy shit moment, and like they're all yelling at him to get on the ground, and hand behind the back, all that. They take him into custody.
And they have him.
And you're like, oh God, what? Either you're thinking, okay, well, there we go. Or you're thinking, oh no, why would he do that?
Yeah.
This isn't good.
And I was on that train of why the fuck would he turn himself in? He was, they could not find him. They knew nothing about him. What is his plan?
He's always been a step ahead.
Yeah. And they call him a ghost. Mm-hmm. They don't know his real name. His bank account has only existed for 5 years. He cut his finger. The reason his fingers are fucking bloody
is... the reason there's no fingerprints at any of these scenes is because he cuts the tips of his fingers off so that there's no fingerprints. And he does this every like month or two whenever they grow back, apparently.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about this in the beginning, but during the title scene of them going through like that whole scrapbook scene, there's a part where there's a fingertip with a razor blade, and you watch him like slowly start cutting flesh off.
I briefly caught that, but
they don't show anything too much.
I think my brain was like, ew, gross. Let's forget about that and move on. Yeah.
No, they don't show anything too graphic there, but they like show like a little bit, like the tiniest bit of flesh, like sloughing off. So the title scene is him making his whole little scrapbook and like getting his whole plan together.
Wow. It didn't even fucking hit me.
And then they get into a room with the captain, a lawyer, and then Somerset and Mills.
Yeah.
And the captain is like, no interrogation. We don't need it. We have all of this evidence. We don't need jack shit. And Mills and Somerset start questioning why he turned himself in. They're like, there's no reason he should have turned himself in. Like, we need to ask him stuff. And the captain's like, no. And the lawyer's like, you're not fucking talking to shit. We've got, like, I have conditions that he told me about. The lawyer tells them he has agreed to turn himself in, plead guilty, do the whole thing, show him where the two bodies are, on the last two bodies, on the condition that Mills and Somerset take him there.
Only them.
Only them, no one else, no wires, nothing, just them. And if they don't agree, he'll plead insanity. And due to the crimes, he'd probably get off on insanity, especially in this time period of being early 90s.
Yeah. And so like once the lawyer says that, they're like, no, like you can't fucking do that. Like he has to be prosecuted. Like he's obviously not fucking insane. Like, you know, this and that, but the lawyer's like,
this is who I am. Like, I'm the lawyer. This is my job. Because Mills gets up in his face and is like, how the fuck can you do this?
Yeah,
like,
how can you defend this man? And like the lawyer brings in his jargon of that. He's probably said the line a million times of like, you know, I am required by law and the studies of my past to, like, he says some weird, like,
he says that like it is everyone needs like due process. Everyone deserves a lawyer, but the way he says it is so scummy that you're just like, oh,
it's so like you read this off a cue card.
Yes.
Just to fucking, like, it doesn't come from the heart. It's just like pre-rehearsed.
Yeah. How much are you getting fucking paid type deal? And I think it's Somerset who says we don't even know if there are two more bodies. And the captain is like, the captain says they were able to do a quick blood test on his clothing, and they found 3 different types. His,
and then 2 others.
So his, the Pride murder.
Oh yes, and then
a third unidentified one. So there's at least one more body.
Yeah.
They go into, I guess, the police locker room.
Yeah, they have that.
Do they?
I mean, they used to at some place. I don't know if every police, like, usually police stations have a place where you can change and like put your gear on and like all that. And
yeah, but there's like showers.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
But yeah, well, especially because like off-hour shifts, you know, like there are
like the graveyard or
or even I don't know if, like, for instance, the guy who has to be there for fingerprints, he may not be able to leave. Like
during that time period.
Yeah, he probably has to stick around to some extent, and so they have to, like, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. And
have
like, I guess if you went to a case and, you know, you got covered in blood or something, you know.
Or like if you pick up a fucking drunk dude and then he throws up all over you in your cruiser, like, you don't have to go home and
you don't have to smell like vomit for your half-hour commute or whatever.
You can like get back to the station and like take a shower and then do your paperwork.
They're shaving their chests.
Yeah, they're shaving their chests and they're
having like a cute little bonding moment, shaving their chest, which is just.
I think Mills even makes a gay joke about, like, he's like, you know, I shouldn't tell my wife or something like that. Like, I don't remember, but it was really cute, and I was like, man, I know, not that I'm into reading fan fiction necessarily, but my wife and I started watching the Game Grumps read some fan fiction on their Patreon.
Oh yeah.
And so now my brain is like, I wonder if there's a fan fiction of
of these
Detective
two?
Somerset and Detective Mills.
Oh, you know what?
Oh god.
There might be. I'm going to look it up and we'll bring it next week.
Oh my god, that is a fucking bonus episode.
We'll just read some fanfic of them.
Holy shit.
So they're shaving their chest to tape wires down.
Yeah.
Mills like stops and he's like, "Hey Somerset." He's about to say something and Somerset's like, "What's up?" And Mills is like, "Nah, never mind." And just like walks out. And I'm like, we get no closure on that one.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was gonna say like, "My wife's pregnant." Like, I want to know if like maybe no, never mind. That's not correct. I don't know what he was gonna tell Somerset. I don't know if he was gonna be like, "It was a pleasure working with you." Like,
I have
something.
no idea.
I think it was gonna be something cheesy and sappy, and he's like, we're two men shirtless in the shower rooms. I'm not doing that.
I wonder if maybe they did actually say it, but then like they cut it out, and so now they like have that. They just cut out him being like, "Pretty all right partner," you know that? Like,
yeah, something
because
like
like
that.
would kill the tone of the movie. I'm sorry, it's perfect, and the fact that it's unsaid
Yeah.
makes it perfect.
Yeah.
But if for a minute straight it just had this like really sappy moment where they like connected on that level, I'd be like, okay, it's not about these two. It's about this psycho killer, and they're just trying to catch him. But like, not
Yeah.
that you know what I
No,
mean.
no. I super agree with you. The tender, quote unquote, tender moment they had of joking while shaving their chest
It was perfect.
is exactly what
Yeah.
we needed, and we don't need anything more on that.
Yeah.
They get everything in. They get John Doe into the back of a cruiser. They got a helicopter tailing them far enough away. John takes them into the desert.
Yeah, they were just out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
He's like, oh yeah, you got to hit the desert. He gives them
literally
directions.
just like power lines.
Yeah, and this is where you're like, yep, this is California. I can't believe you guys filmed this entire rainy movie in fucking California.
Yeah. And again, this is where the movie finally becomes a different color, because you're out in this like
Bright ass desert.
it's not even it's like half desert, but it's like also like it's like autumn. It seems like fall, because it looks like, you know, any foliage is like dying off almost.
Oh, I just assumed it was dying because it's hot as fuck.
Could
But
be that too.
it could just be fall.
Yeah,
I was just
don't
thinking
know.
of like summers here where you go out into the desert and it's just like everything's dying because nothing's getting enough water.
Yeah, honestly, it's just out in the middle of nowhere. And as they're driving out, we do have these scenes of Mills essentially questioning the killer while he's in the killer's in the back seat and they're driving out this way.
Somerset's driving, so Mills is in passenger, asking him questions and kind of like coming from a moral high ground about it.
Yeah. And it's very interesting how the killer like kind of shuts him down a bit on that. Not that I agree with what the killer did, but how he explains it. It's almost difficult to argue, because you can't just be like, well, yeah, but you fucking killed him anyways. Because he literally is like, well, yes, but I can't remember how he says it, but
So
Mills says something about them being like, you kill innocent people or something like that.
Yeah, so he killed. They have this little back and forth, and again, Mills is coming from the place of the higher moral standing, and so he's all super cocky about it when he's going into this questioning. And Kevin Spacey, John Doe, is just like looking at him like, you're such a fucking idiot. You don't understand life, is how he's looking at him. And when he's like, you killed innocent people, and he's like, there's nothing innocent about those people. A man who's so disgusting he eats himself to death, a lawyer who does nothing but lie, and a woman who is so vain she would rather kill herself than call for safety, like call for help. And like he goes into his reasoning, and the only one that gets me is like the gluttony one, where he's like, none of them are innocent. And I'm like, yeah, no, the lawyer's not innocent. The sex worker was just doing her damn job. Like, leave her the fuck out of this.
Yeah, but I don't even necessarily think that he was punishing the sex worker. He was punishing the dude who he made killer.
Yeah, but
essentially.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he punished both of them.
Yeah.
But like,
one just ended up dead and the other one had to live with the consequences.
Cause like when I think of lust in that situation, it doesn't play into the woman's side, because it's not like I don't picture the woman working that line of work just because she's so horny that she just wants to have sex all the time. Does that make sense? It's more of like, this guy has such strong lust that he'll go into the depths of this like underground place, you know, pass off money to
just fuck anything that moves, pretty much.
Yes. So like, that's where my mind is like, well, yes, he did, like the murder of the woman, like, is the focal point because she's the victim. Yes.
He was punishing.
He was also like actually punishing the man.
Interesting.
You know,
I mean, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense than just being like, this woman had to die because she was a sex worker.
Yeah. But in my brain, that's how it worked. Because this guy was too smart to just have it be like, dude was fat. I stuffed him with spaghetti till he blew up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he has reasonings, and the reasonings aren't good.
they're not good.
But he is so dead set on his conviction of why they aren't innocent what it gets to me.
Yes, I think that's why earlier when I said, like,
you can't fight him because
you can't fight him. It's not that he's right, but like
he believes so full-heartedly in what he is saying. You can't fight him.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, and he kind of shuts Mills down a bit, and
he shuts him down hard.
Yeah, by the end of this conversation, Mills is kind of like,
you see that whole like macho facade of like being so bigger like crumble, and he ends up like being like, we're done talking, and like gets all pouty in the front seat, and this is when John Doe starts like taking digs at him, and his character makes me so viscerally angry that I relate so hard with Mills this entire time. I'm like, bitch, you started this conversation and I wish you didn't. This is all your fault. Like, now I gotta listen to this man ramble and be an asshole because of you.
Yeah. Oh, God.
They end up driving, and like Somerset asks a few questions that are much more calm and trying. Somerset comes obviously from a way of like,
informative questions.
Yeah, like I want to know more about this thing, where Mills is coming from a very attack.
He was like challenging John Doe's morality, or like, you know, his way of thinking versus Somerset, where he's just trying to get information out of him, like trying to fill in those last few pieces of the puzzle that are like that he's putting together in his head.
Yeah,
two very, very different
modalities. Mindset.
Yeah, like mindsets.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
very well done.
The juxtaposition of those two is just phenomenal.
Fantastic,
amazingly done. They end up driving up on like a rundown like mobile home RV thing. Somerset, they get out of the car. Somerset sees a dead dog down the road, but nothing else. John walks them out into like the middle of the desert. He's like, oh, it's just over here. So he pulls both of them, not pulls, but he like starts walking in a direction, and they have to follow. The guns pulled. The chopper's still trying to stay out of earshot, I guess is the best way. Cause like,
yeah.
But they're going into the desert. Before they get too far, Somerset and Mills looks over, and there's a fucking van barreling down this dirt road, this one-way dirt road, and they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? And Mills makes John Doe get on his knees. And he's just like, stay there, like fucking don't move. And Somerset's like, I'm gonna go meet him. And he like runs to the vehicle and like heads off the van. And it turns out it's just a delivery driver who has a package.
Yeah,
for
dude
Detective
gets out.
Mills.
Dude gets out and panics. He's like, I'm just delivering a package.
This guy paid me like $500 to just deliver a package. It's just a package.
Yeah, right at 7:00.
It's like 7:05.
It's like 7:02 at that point, I think. Because like as soon as they get out of the car, John Doe's like, what time is it? He's like, 7:01. And that's it. Like John Doe doesn't even mention anything after that. But then like the delivery driver comes up. He's like, yeah, I was paid to deliver this. And he pulls out this box, and it's got very fragile tape all over it. And so he like lifts it out kind of carefully.
And then, the guys in the chopper are like, we need bomb squad. There's a box. And Somerset's like, I'm going to open it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was just like, I want to say it was because of Somerset's indefinite, his gut feeling that he has as a detective.
There's nothing saying that John Doe would put a bomb in this box.
There's also that. Like, why, after everything, why would, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you that I think it was Somerset's gut feeling of like, he has a bigger plan. It's not going to be to blow me up with a box. Like that. And if it was like what we've seen with bomb boxes before, they're very fragile. He would not have like send it to this guy who could blow himself up. Yeah. But it's also 95. Like how common, I say common like they're common now. I hope they're not common now. Yeah. Like I feel like it's less of a trope, less common in like 95 for everything to be considered a bomb. Yeah. Like obviously SWAT is like worst case scenario. Obviously SWAT man is like, it's a bomb. I need bomb squad. While like detective is like, why the fuck
that
would
does
it be a
make
bomb?
Sense. Give it 6 more years and people won't be thinking this.
Everything's a bomb.
But
so
we don't have to talk about that.
He takes out his knife, and we're getting like cuts back and forth of Mills talking to John Doe.
Well, John Doe's talking to Mills. He's kind of like, I can't remember what he's saying exactly, but he's
like, I admire you and your conviction and blah blah blah, and like I envy your way of life and how you can just be have such a normal wife and you can be a loving husband and blah blah blah.
yeah, and Somerset opens the box and stands up and
drops the box.
Morgan Freeman's acting, like, this whole movie is so good. But like, when you know and you look at his face, he portrays it so well.
So well.
But if you don't know, I can't even imagine what you think is going through his head when he opens the box, because his face is so like I can't even. It's
shocked,
just like,
horrified.
Yeah, it's like so many things running through his head. He just like turns around and he's like, he starts sprinting back towards Mills and he starts screaming at Mills and he's screaming at Mills to drop the gun, throw the gun. Meanwhile, John Doe is talking to Mills and he mentions like,
oh, I went to go play pretend and see if I could take your life. Your wife is so nice. And
yeah,
like, I sat at your table
and Mills is like, what the fuck? And Somerset runs up and is like, drop the gun. And Mills is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? My wife? Like, what the fuck? This is the iconic.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Tell me what's in the box.
Because it's not like, it's not. He does yell it at one point, but there is a point where it's a very like defeated, like, no, what's in the box? Which it's not like whiny like that, like how I did it. It's very well done, because it's a very like, you can hear in his gut that like everything up top, like in his chest, is sinking down into his stomach. Like you can literally hear that happening. It's such a weird like specific thing, but like Brad Pitt does a really good job at it.
He does. And
it's fucked up.
John Doe is like, oh yeah, and you know, with a baby on the way, or says something about,
he mentions the baby. And the cinematography of Mills pointing the gun directly at the camera and like looking at it with an angry face, and then he'll like kind of immediately trail off and look down at the ground and like about to burst into tears and like about to sob. And then it's like the thought hits him again that like this dude killed his wife, and then he snaps back into pointing at the camera and like this angry look in his face. It's so intense. And you can see like the mental agony and like marathon that he's running in his head to figure out like what he wants to do, because Somerset's sitting here being like, if you kill him, he wins. This is exactly what he wanted.
He wants you to kill him.
He
and
wants
like,
this.
After the pregnant comment, Somerset slaps the shit out of John
Doe. He does.
He
He keeps screaming at John Doe to shut the hell up, and then he mentions the baby, and Somerset smacks the fuck out of him, dude.
First time we see Somerset lose his fucking cool.
This is a very intense scene. This whole thing is just like, holy shit.
And the entire time Somerset is trying to calm down Mills, and then you can just see it where it just sinks in for Mills, where he's just like, nope, bam, one shot to the head. And then I think he shoots the entire clip into him after that, right?
He pops a couple more into the dead body with just this look in his face. Like, go watch this movie, because the intensity of this and like everything leading up to this scene.
There's a reason this movie is a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I will watch this movie again and again for the rest of my life, because it's so good.
You said that about weapons too.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're not even done. Like we're pretty much done, but like the last like few things is Mills gets arrested, like SWAT up in the air is like, they've been shot, get down, like go down there. Mills gets arrested. The captain, like everyone's there staring at it, and Somerset just like leaves, and he quotes Ernest Hemingway. And I brought up Criminal Minds earlier. They do that at the end of every Criminal Minds episode too. They like quote a famous author or a famous person, and I was like, oh, that's where they got it from. Like they took it from Seven. And then it's reverse credits, which also Longlegs does. Instead of the credits coming this way,
they go up.
Hmm.
And Longlegs did the same thing. And it was like, oh, like you can see like a lot of just like that type of inspiration for the movie too.
I love that.
But that's the end of the movie.
That is the end of the movie. It's not a happy ending. If we did we even talk about what was in the box?
No.
I guess it was kind of implied.
It's Tracy's head.
It's Tracy's head.
Mills's wife's head.
Yeah. That's what's in the box. And that's why he's like, you know, I mean, obviously that's why he has a fucking breakdown and shoots John Doe in the head. Yeah. And then shoots him 5 more times.
Yeah. Just fucking unloads on him.
And it's one of those things because, again, it's not, I don't know how you could have a happy ending for a movie like this, but this is the worst ending because, like, the killer wins and Mills is going to jail because his wife got her head cut off. And actually, after all that, you actually, for those of you who were expecting Somerset to be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not retiring. Congratulations, you won a prize, because that is the case. He was like,
does he stay on?
Yeah, he's like, I guess I could stick around. He doesn't say it, but like he says something to the chief, where he's like, I can't fucking remember, but yeah, no, he stays, and I'm like, this sucks. You don't get out. Everyone just dies, and the killer wins. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is not a happy ending movie. There is nothing. It's not a feel-good movie, but it's such a good movie.
It's such a good fucking movie.
And after watching it again, like for this, I love this movie, but it's been a few years since I watched it. Watching it again with all of the media I have consumed now, so much media takes inspiration from this damn movie, and you can see it. Longlegs did it. What's another one? I just thought, oh fuck, like Criminal Minds did it. Like any crime movie or crime TV show, I feel like took at least a little bit of inspiration from this movie for good reason. It's well done, super good.
The mystery is there. It's so good, like, because no matter what, even rewatching it, you can't stay ahead of the murderer, if that makes sense. Like, even though you know the ending and you've seen what happens, like when you're sitting there watching it, you're always going to be 2 steps behind fucking Kevin Spacey, bro.
And the thing with this one too is like, it's not even like a cat and mouse, like you know who the murderer is type thing. Like you are following this almost solely from the detective's point of view of like, you know what they know. Yeah. And it's not much.
Up until the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And then you're like thrown for a loop because the man turns himself in, and you're like, after all of that work and effort to just like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's a wild ride. Fantastic. Everything. And this movie, I don't know, it's a good movie. So this is our 13th episode. I don't know if that means anything. We said it probably should have.
13 plus 7 is 20. And I have 20 whole reasons to... I don't fucking know.
No idea. But we're entering into the holiday winter season. We've been looking at some holiday movies.
Are we going to rewatch The Terrifier 3?
We could. We were talking about for December. We don't really have too many movies picked out for... Oh, actually, we do. I think we have the entirety of November planned already.
You know...
And we were already looking at holiday, like Christmas and winter movies. We talked about maybe doing The Thing, Gremlins.
I do want to do The Thing and Gremlins.
And I want to do Black Christmas.
Yes, I want to do that too.
So maybe we'll do Terrifier as our 4th little rendition.
Maybe. We'll see.
Terrifier
the third
3.
one was a lot.
It was a lot
and
for us.
And that's coming from someone who, not a fan of gore, but like really enjoys the Terrifier movies. The third one was a lot.
It was.
I felt like... Oh, I just felt like I needed to shower after that one. I was like, okay, holy shit.
So we've got lots of stuff coming up. Some other things we've talked about. We've mentioned this in previous episodes. We'll see where we are with our Patreon. We have a Patreon, it's just not live. We're trying to figure out what would be good bonus content. If y'all have any suggestions, best place to reach us is our Instagram. Let us know in the comments. Depending on where you're listening to this, you can also leave comments on the episode. Reach out, let us know things. We read all of your non-existent comments.
Yeah, man.
We're here. Let us know what you want to do.
The show is for the people.
Obviously.
The spooky people.
Spooky people.
Whether you like horror movies or you can't stand them but want to be a part of something and, want to know what happens.
We'll be your Cliff Notes.
Yeah, dude. We'll be your Cliff Notes, except way stupider. At least on my end.
No,
not on your end.
No, I agree. We'll give you the dumb jokes that then you can tell your friends if you haven't seen the movie. Just be like, oh yeah, like that one scene, that was totally like that other movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You'll just get the Cliff Notes version.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and Threads at No Self Service Pod. Until next time.